Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back. And for today's haul, I actually have some Blu-rays along with one vinyl because like I mentioned in last month's haul, I've been doing this vinyl VNYL subscription and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Not sponsored at all. But if there's anything in this haul that you like, there will always be Amazon affiliate links in the description down below, and anything you purchase from those links, I'll get a small percentage that'll help make this channel even better. And with that out of the way, let's get started with the vinyl since it's the only one I have. Like I said, I've been doing the VNYL vinyl subscription thing every month. I get one vinyl sent to me, either one that I pick from their curated list of either artists or different types of albums, like it's a specific genre and they'll send you an album by an artist in that genre. I think the one that they have going on currently is women in comedy, and you can either get Ali Wong's Baby Cobra album or a couple other really great female comedians. Last month they had this one called Annie Taylor, which I absolutely love, so I got the album in that instead of getting the one that is curated based on my likes, because I listened to some of the songs off this album and absolutely fell in love with it. If you really like the folky rock from the 60s, 70s kind of era, you'll really love this. I have been getting into that music a lot more lately than I used to. It was like Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that were my dad and my mom's favorite bands when I was younger. So this kind of brought it back because it has that sound, but a little bit more modern, it feels like. And I really, really love it. It's so beautiful there. I believe, see, they always write you this cute little note and stuff too. They are from Switzerland. It's the lead singer is a female, and then there's 3 male bandmates, and it's some really great music, and I love the album artwork on this. This album though, I'm not exactly sure if this one will be on Amazon. I have not looked it up yet, but I know that the pressing of this, the color of the vinyl, is limited to the subscription, but the inside artwork is beautiful. I think I'm covering up my mic so you can't hear me that well. And then the slip inside is this beautiful kind of it's almost like a sketch drawing of them, of the whole band. And then I love this pressing. It's so beautiful. It's like this forest green, almost splatter paint kind of thing. If it'll focus on it, probably not, but it's so beautiful. I really love it, and I really love this album. It's such a great album. I recommend, if you at least have Spotify, to look up the band Annie Taylor. It's not a specific name of any of the band members or the lead singer. It's just the name that they gave the band. But really, really love this. Highly recommend it. I think next month for vinyl, I will be getting I'll be getting a vinyl curated to my likes based on my Spotify playlist and stuff like that, because I wasn't a big fan of any of the specific choices in particular this month, but we'll see. I have yet to really, really look at it and actually make my choices, so you'll see that in a month. And then I have 3 Blu-rays that I got because Target had a buy 2 get 1 free deal. So I got one that I just watched recently, and it actually came out a year ago, and I fell in love with it, and I'm really upset that I never watched it prior to this. The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss. I have not watched the original 1930 or 40 Invisible Man, the original Universal movie, but this one I absolutely loved. It is probably one of my favorite movies of last year. Definitely one of my favorite horror movies of last year, and Elizabeth Moss is spectacular. Insane. She's so good. So good. probably her best performance. I think it even says Elizabeth Moss delivers the best performance of her film career here on the bottom of the box. And, well, the bottom of the artwork. This is the back of it, and I think the disc is just, yeah, pretty basic disc, but really love this film. If you have not seen it, if you like horror, I highly, highly recommend giving this a watch. Next is kind of a step up from that. If you don't like horror, but you are kind of like on the fence, these are the movies for you because they are like a step into the horror direction, but they are mostly comedies. That's how I kind of got into watching horror movies, is watching horror comedies. These aren't the specific ones that I watched to get into horror movies. I was actually honestly thrown into the deep end of horror movies by my friends suggesting that we take one of our elective film courses, our elective film studies courses, to be the horror film class that they offered that semester, instead of taking, I don't know, World History 1, which we needed to take anyways, which we never ended up taking. So I don't know how we got that degree, but anyways, comedy horror is a great way to step into horror if you do not currently like horror, but you are kind of interested in it, or you want to be interested in it, not like limit yourself to only watching specific types of genres, which that's how I was like a couple years ago. And then I started watching comedy horror movies, and then now I just like, I can watch scary-ish movies like this, and I can watch like extremely scary movies and be like totally fine with it. But this is the Cornetto trilogy. Again, I know some people are going to say they're not horror movies. Shaun of the Dead is basically a horror movie. It's a zombie movie. Zombie movies are kind of classified as horror movies, but the Cornetto trilogy, Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are fantastic. I love this. I first watched Shaun of the Dead like midway through last year, and then almost right after that I watched Hot Fuzz. And then after I got this set, I watched World's End, and World's End is probably not my favorite of the three. I really love Shaun of the Dead because I'm a sucker for zombie movies, but all three of these are great because the director is great, the cast is great. I love Simon Pegg, I love Nick Frost, and all three of them together are just fantastic. I highly recommend checking this out if you have not. And if you are a fan of the Cornetto trilogy and you don't have them all or any of them, this is probably a great set to get because it is Blu-ray and it does have a digital code. So if you want to have a digital code, and all the discs are just kind of boring, basic discs, and the back doesn't have any images either. It's just kind of the rundown of each film, but it's a great set to have. And if you are into horror, they are a little scary if you aren't into horror, but they're a fun stepping point. And then a step up from that is a rom-com-ish kind of thing. I don't know if I would consider this a rom-com, but it is a rom-com, I guess, in so many senses. I would consider it more of just a comedy, and I got it for the fact that I have a obsession with Anya Taylor-Joy. I love her so much. And this was one of the last movies I saw in theaters last year. I think it was the second to last. The last one I actually saw was Sonic the Hedgehog, which sucks. But this one was a great last one to see, and that is Emma. This was such a beautiful film. It is probably my favorite adaptation of like those old novels. Like, I really loved the Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice. I believe that's the one. Yeah, the Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice with Matthew McFadyen. I really loved that until I saw this. And this is like, it's a fun, updated take on this era that, like, it doesn't feel kind of old and stuffy like this era kind of is. I haven't watched, what's that Netflix show that everyone's talking about? I haven't watched that. Bridgerton. I haven't watched Bridgerton. I probably will not watch Bridgerton because I honestly don't care. But I feel like Bridgerton came from Emma being such a great success in so many words, because I feel like it is it was sort of like an indie movie. I had to go to one of the smaller AMC theaters to see this, like the one that only shows more of the independent artsy films. But this is the back, and that's the front. And I also recommend, if you like Emma and you want something similar to this that's not like Bridgerton, a TV series, I would check out the, I gotta remember what it's called. It is a new Dev Patel film, and I watched it last year. Let's see, Dev Patel. The Personal History of David Copperfield. If you enjoyed Emma, you'll probably enjoy The Personal History of David Copperfield, because it kind of has a similar comedic feel to it, as well as being set in this era, but it is a little bit off kilter, more so than this. But they're both kind of a little eccentric, I guess you could say is the right word for this. And who else is in this? Bill Nighy is in this. He plays Anya Taylor-Joy's father, and oh my god, Bill Nighy is probably one of my favorite characters in this movie. He is hilarious and weird. And also, if that's your bag, this was directed by a female director, Autumn de Wilde. She did a great job. I really suggest watching this. But I think that's everything. I'm out of breath. I need some coffee because I just woke up like 2 hours ago. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you got this month. If you are not a patron, you should be, because I will be posting a special 1001 video tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Only patrons get to see 1001 videos for the foreseeable future. You get one every month. So if that is something that you used to come to this channel for, it is on Patreon. You can pledge like whatever you want, $1, whatever, and everybody will get it if you are a patron. But yeah, as always, all of this stuff, anything I talk about in my haul, will have Amazon links in the description. And yeah, I kind of forget my outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly do appreciate you, whoever you are. Let me know here in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I love talking like movies, TV shows, film, history, and music in my hauls. And I'll see you next time. Bye.